Good evening, SassCloud. It's Monday, and I'm back on the grind, emotionally rebooted, slightly sunburnt, and spiritually fortified by hen hugs and hole digging. The world didn't slow down while I was offline, but lucky for you, I've got my Sass shirt, my fags loaded, and my coffee hotter than national debt crisis. So if you've missed a few headlines while, say, prioritizing your mental health or simply refusing to spiral, don't worry, I've got the chaos covered. Let's get into it. The US dollar is doing the financial equivalent of a faceplant, and not the cute kind. We're talking worst start to the year since 1973. That's right, the dollar's down roughly 10% in the first half of 2025. And if you're wondering what's behind that tumble, buckle up because we're looking at the orange overlord's greatest hits: tariff tantrums, trillion-dollar deficit bills, and a trade policy strategy that seems to have been designed with a dartboard. This whole mess is giving major Nixon in 71 vibes, back when the dollar was yanked off the gold standard and global markets collectively said, "Excuse me, what?" Now, fast forward to today, where Trump's tariff war is making U.S. manufacturing more expensive, international companies less eager to do business here, and the Federal Reserve's independence is somehow a recurring debate like it's a cable news panel. Meanwhile, the Senate is preparing to pass a bill that could explode the deficit by trillions. And let's be real, they'd probably put it on a black Amex if they could. The Financial Times says the odds of an economic crisis have sharply risen over the next 4 to 5 years. Translation: the rich are hedging their bets, the poor are checking grocery prices like it's roulette, and the middle class is just trying to stay afloat while the floor collapses beneath them. But hey, don't worry, according to experts, a crisis isn't inevitable, it's just highly probable. And just when you thought tanking the dollar was enough economic sabotage for one administration, the orange overlord said, "Hold my Bud Light," because what better way to combat inflation than making food more expensive? California farms are in crisis, and not because of weather, pests, or bad crop yields, but because ICE raids have sent immigrant workers running, and suddenly no one's picking the produce. Federal immigration agents swooped into Ventura County like they were starring in an action movie. And surprise, the sequel is no workers, no harvest. Thanks to the orange overlord's latest immigration crackdown, up to 70% of farm workers are reportedly gone, meaning crops are literally rotting in the fields while native-born workers are nowhere to be found because, spoiler alert, most Americans aren't lining up to spend 12 hours in the sun picking lettuce for $13 an hour. Even authorized immigrant workers are ghosting the fields because ICE doesn't exactly come with a gentle knock and a smile. Farmers are panicking, economists are waving red flags, and meanwhile, consumers, you're about to pay $9 for strawberries and a side of guilt. Here's the kicker: both left and center-leaning outlets agree that immigrant labor is essential to our food supply. The left says this enforcement surge is having a chilling effect and causing devastating impacts on the economy. The center is a bit more clinical, talking legal rights and procedural fairness, but still pointing to empty fields and rising prices. So while politicians rant about border security from air-conditioned offices, the food supply is being dismantled in real time. And guess what? It's not just undocumented workers being affected. ICE has everyone spooked, even the ones with papers. Bottom line, you can't deport your way out of a labor shortage, but you can make groceries unaffordable and farmers furious. And somehow that's the plan. Now look, I know I've said some things about Elon Musk. We've had our ups and downs. He banned journalists, tried to play emperor of Twitter, and flirted with tech bro dictatorship more than once. But this week, I felt something because baby, Elon is back, at least a little. He's coming for the big, beautiful megabill with a flamethrower made of fiscal responsibility and political vengeance. On Monday, Elon pledged to fund primary challengers against any Republican who backs Trump's $5 trillion spendorama. That's right, not Democrats, Republicans. He called the bill insane, slammed the green energy cut, and basically threatened to form a new political party if the GOP doesn't get its act together. Is it chaos? Yes. Is it sexy? Absolutely yes. Even the nonpartisan CBO says this bill would balloon the national debt by $3.3 trillion over the next decade. And Elon says it's more like $5 trillion. And suddenly the man who once named his child after a CAPTCHA is sounding like the most responsible guy in the room. Left-leaning outlets say he's throwing gasoline on an already divided GOP. Right-leaning ones are calling it a conservative reckoning. The center, they're just nervously checking the math while watching the GOP implode like a SpaceX rocket test. And me, I'm over here wondering if I need to get back on the Musk train because, yes, I still think he's a billionaire drama magnet with a savior complex, but also he's literally the only high profile tech bro screaming, "Stop this debt madness," while the rest of the room passes out on piles of lobbyist cash. So, Elon, if you're listening, I'm not saying I forgive you, but I am saying call me when you launch that political party. And while Musk is out here threatening political mutiny with a wink and a wallet, the rest of the week's news has been throwing elbows like it's the final round of a chicken coop fight. Let's rapid fire the madness, shall we? Iranian hackers still lurking. Federal agencies say Iranian hackers may still be targeting U.S. systems because nothing screams national security like poking the cyber bear during an already unstable conflict. But sure, let's keep tempting fate with bad foreign policy and even worse firewalls. Laura Trump for Senate. Because the Trump family hasn't had enough political airtime, Laura Trump is eyeing a North Carolina Senate seat. Apparently, nepotism is the next grassroots campaign strategy. Will she bring policy? Doubtful. Will she bring Fox News photo ops? Absolutely. Meta launches Superintelligence Labs. Mark Zuckerberg just announced Meta's new superintelligence division because clearly what we need was Zuck-powered AI overlords. At this point, the only thing more terrifying than AI gaining consciousness is it having access to our Facebook messages from 2009. Trump's handwritten note to Powell. Golden Dawn scribbled a middle school breakup letter to Fed Chair Jerome Powell. "You have cost the U.S. a fortune," in cursive on paper. And yes, it made the news. Because governing by grudge is now a legitimate communication strategy. Future Fed Chair, "I'll do what the president wants." Scott Bessent, the Fed Chair nominee, said he'll do what the president wants. That's not a red flag, that's a whole damn parade. The Fed's supposed to be independent, not Daddy Don's personal piggy bank. RNC sues over Arizona voting law. The Republican National Committee is suing Arizona over a new voter registration law because nothing says we believe in democracy like suing to control who gets to participate in it. Planned Parenthood under fire. Again, a Senate bill just got the green light to defund Planned Parenthood because who needs reproductive health care when we can throw more money at a $5 trillion megabill? All right, that was a lot. From cyber threats to Senate seat soap operas, I think we've all earned a deep breath and a warm, fuzzy moment. So let's wrap this circus with a little sunshine and or tell me something good. Let's talk about taking a damn break, shall we? Because sometimes the headlines are heavy, the news is nonstop, and your nervous system is like, absolutely not, I'm on strike. And you know what? That's not weakness, it's wisdom. I took a mental health day or three, closed the laptop, cuddled my Jersey Giant girls, and spent some time outside digging the trench for a predator apron around their coop. It's not done yet, but neither am I, and that's kind of the point. Sometimes healing looks like baby steps, like fresh dirt under your nails, birds chatting in your ear, and giving yourself permission to pause. Because rest isn't retreat, it's resistance, and now I'm back, recharged, mud covered, and ready to report the news with claws out and facts loaded. So, if you're feeling fried, take the break. Breathe. Dig your own little hole if you need to. The chaos can wait, your peace can't. And that's the rundown, my beautiful bastions of brain cells. Whether you are mourning the dollar, side-eyeing AI overlords, or just trying to survive the great grocery price hike of 2025, remember, this is your space for clarity, chaos, control, and chicken-based therapy. If today's show gave you life, give it a like, drop a comment, and share it with someone who needs both the facts and the flair. I'll be back soon with more sass, more truth, and probably more dirt under my nails. Until next time, stay sharp, stay sane, and if in doubt, go hug a hen. See you tomorrow.